So the main event, we had Josh Emmett versus Calvin Kattar. This is a fight I was really looking forward to.
Mhm.
Josh Emmett, low key, one of the top fighters in the UFC, sitting at 18-2.
Yeah, I mean, well, because people kind of forgot because he's been out for so long, right? Because, man, Jeremy Stevens like broke his face open, like it shattered the bones in his face when he knocked him
Yep.
out, and then he tore his ACL in the middle of his fight. So he's just been injured and recovering for so long that people kind of forgot that he was even in the mix. I feel like it's because
But
he kind
even
of got
then,
lost in
if
the
you think
shuffle.
about it, because he's been fighting in the top 10 already for quite some time, and you don't really
Yeah,
hear a lot of buzz
no,
around
no.
Josh Emmett.
Well, because I think because up until this fight and a little bit of this fight, but up until this fight, it's been a lot of waiting, feint the left jab, throw the overhand right, and that's pretty much all
Mhm.
he's done. Just waiting for the overhand right, overhand right, overhand right, and when he lands it, he puts people out. But it's kind of a one-trick pony kind of deal. But it's gotten him very far, and that one trick is very good. But I think that's kind of why his wrestling is there, but it's kind of one dimensional. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying maybe that's why people kind of don't consider him as like maybe one of the elites. It's because it's not like flashy. He's not doing spinning wheel kicks and all this crazy shit. It's just overhand right. But he mixed it up here in this fight. He was not just an overhand right today or tonight.
Yeah. Man, Calvin Kattar, to somebody that after he went up against Max Holloway, everybody was wondering, how is Calvin Kattar going to be? He did the smart thing and
Yeah.
took an entire year off,
Hmm.
which I would like to see more fighters do, right? And he came back very strong against Giga Chikadze.
Yeah.
And I was still curious, like, are we going to continue seeing this Calvin Kattar up against Josh Emmett? So what do you think of the fight overall?
A very good fight. It wasn't the crazy. I think it, um, by contrast to the whole card, it wasn't as like crazy as the entire card. But I thought it was a very good fight. I thought the decision was wrong, but it was a fun fight. It was a competitive fight. Um,
Yeah, Josh Emmett corner didn't think it was
we're like,
wrong.
you're up four.
Well, they thought it was wrong because it wasn't 4-1 on anybody's scorecard.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
man, I thought that was a little crazy how they kept on telling him. They're like, dude, you're up two rounds right now, and I was like,
yeah,
I don't
dude.
know.
In my opinion, that first round is a toss up. That first round could have been a 10-10 if they gave him out. That first round was very much even. Second round, I thought Kattar took the second round. He started landing the jab a lot more, busted him up,
Mhm.
um, and the third round, I thought Josh Emmett took that round. So I was like, man, this is a back and forth because I kind of leaned Kattar in the first round, even though
Mhm.
very close. Second round, I thought, okay, Cater's finding his rhythm with the jab, and making Emmett miss a lot. Emmett was trying to do that shuffle step, switch hitting,
Yep.
right, left hook, right overhand, left hook, right straight, shifting as he's doing it, but couldn't quite get there until the third round. He started landing pretty heavy, um, and then I thought the fourth round, that's when Kattar started making those adjustments with the elbows. Because Emmett was closing the distance, right, trying to land that left hook, trying to land the overhand right, getting in tight, and Kattar starts throwing these elbows, massive elbows, spinning back elbows, landing his jab. But they gave it to Emmett, and I was kind of surprised. I thought 2, 4, and 5 went to Kattar. First round being a toss up, third round being the only clear round for me for Emmett. What did you think?
I mean, I thought Calvin Kattar won the fight as well. Now, the
Mhm.
thing again, I always try to put myself in the judge's shoes, which is
Yeah.
like it's really hard to understand where these judges are coming from sometimes.
Hmm.
So right before they started reading out the judges' scorecards, I thought to myself, you know what? Whenever Josh Emmett landed, those
Hmm.
were heavy shots, and you
Yeah.
saw, Kattar react a little bit more to him. Where
Hmm.
I guess Kattar just peppered Emmett with the
Yeah.
shots, a lot of jabs over and over and over again, and you
Hmm.
saw Emmett continue to move forward. So I was just asking myself, man, I wonder how much that's going to play a role. and the
Yeah, yeah.
judges viewing this fight where they're just like, okay, who's doing more damage, and
Well, that's
did they view Emmett as landing the harder shots and delivering more damage?
yeah. I thought Cater did a very good job with his defense too. A lot of those big shots he was blocking before they actually got through, and then on top of that, I thought that I thought that the fight earlier, the Kutateladze fight, was a very similar fight where one person's jabbing, peppering with shots, the other person's swinging heavier and landing occasionally, not as much, but occasionally. But they gave it to the jabber, and then this fight happens, and
That's kind of funny.
they flipped it. And the weirdest thing is Chris Lee, the guy who has like the record for most dissenting opinions on split decisions. He he didn't give he gave Cater round 2, which I agree with, and round 5, but not round 4. And I thought round 4 was the clearest round of the whole fight. It's like,
Mhm.
how do you give him round 2, which was much more close, but not 4? 4 was like a clear Cater fight or Cater round. Emmett didn't
Yeah.
really land much at all that round. So it's like kind of bizarre. Like, how do you give him 2 but not 4?
Would you call Cater a one trick pony?
No, I think he knew what I. Here's the thing, man. Is I think he knew what he needed to do in this fight to beat a guy like Josh Emmett, and most of the time he did what he would have got the win. Like, imagine it's crazy. Imagine you played a baseball game and you're like, man, I don't know. Do we score a run when we cross home plate, or do we score a run when we strike somebody out, or does a hit score us a run? Like, I don't really know what scores anymore. Like,
Mhm.
imagine if they went into a game and didn't really know how to score, because that's kind of what happens in fighting. Like this is how you beat a guy like Josh Emmett. You stay on the outside. You shell up when he tries to throw the overhand because it's not going to do any damage. You jab him because you have the reach advantage, and when he does get in tight, you throw the elbows and you outstrike him in 3 out of the 2 or the 5 rounds. That's how you win the
Yeah.
fight. I,
The
I
one thing I
and
did like that Emmett did, though, the adjustments, he started
mhm.
ripping the body a lot more too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, there was that one picture, which is, I mean, nasty,
Yep.
nasty body shot. But as far as like one trick pony goes, I don't think so, because I think he just did what he needed to do against a guy in this kind of a matchup. But like when you watch the Giga Chikadze fight, it's a different fight. He's not just jab, because I mean in this fight he threw maybe 5 kicks,
Mhm.
but in previous fights he throws a lot more kicks. He mixes it up a little bit more. He used a lot of clinch grappling against Chikadze against the cage, so like I think he just did use the
He had a
tools that
game
he needed to
plan in
use.
place, and
Yeah,
he
and
executed
and
that
he
game
did
plan.
it.
I
I
mean,
thought he
he's a
won the fight.
fantastic boxer, man. He's a
Very good.
fantastic boxer. His footwork's phenomenal,
Hmm.
and he's just so technical too.
Well, he doesn't.
You very rarely find him out of
Mhm.
position. His
That's
guard's
the
always
thing.
nice. Yeah,
He
nice and
doesn't
tight.
overextend on the straight punches. Like, he doesn't
No,
lean
no, no,
forward
no.
over his lead leg. Because if you
Yeah,
do, you're going to get knocked out by Emmett.
where you see Emmett kind of the opposite, where he does extend a little bit more. You know
But
what
he
I
has
mean?
to.
And he has to, yeah. And
Yeah.
so it was nice though seeing Emmett's game plan go up against Cater's game plan in this case, because you know that they're both gonna just try to stay in the
Yeah.
pocket somewhat and trade some blows.
Hmm.
But man, I just love seeing Calvin Cater. How clean and technical
Yeah.
everything is with his movement.
And his defense looked so good. I mean, a lot of these shots he blocked. I mean, by the end of the fight, don't get me wrong, his eyes were swelled up a bit and stuff, but man, his defense looked so good. Until he started ripping those bodies, that was the hole that he was open, and Emmett took advantage of that.
I mean, both of them
I
were
mean,
wearing it, man.
I mean, after the
Emmett
first round, Emmett was already
Emmett's left thigh
bleeding.
was busted,
Yeah, I mean, that's
but
what
it was
happens when
a
you get jabbed up.
it was a very good fight though. Um,
Mhm.
now this probably moves Emmett into fourth in the
Somewhere around
featherweight
there for
rankings,
sure.
around there.
Yeah,
What does this do with Calvin Cater? Who does Calvin Cater fight next?
yeah, it's kind of a bummer that he gets set back a little bit, but I mean, it is what it is. But it is. I am excited to see Emmett kind of step into that top of the division. But I mean, I don't. You look at the guys. Uh, I I don't think he really beats anybody above Calvin.
Really?
I mean, above Calvin, you have Yair, Ortega, Holloway, and Volk. And I
That's tough, man.
just the skill set that he brings. I mean, on any night he could knock anybody out, but 9 times out of 10, most of the time he's not beating those guys. I don't think.
I mean, do you think Calvin Kattar beats Yair Rodriguez, Brian
I
Ortega,
do.
Max Holloway?
I think Calvin Kattar beats Yair. I could very much see him beating Ortega a similar way that Holloway beat him. I don't see him beating Holloway, and I do not think he beats Volkanovski.
Got it. I mean, we already saw what happened with Max Holloway, right?
Yeah, I just don't think he can bridge that gap.
Okay.
And
Right.
Emmett, I mean, Max and Volk would love to fight a guy like Emmett. I think, and I
Sure.
think those go very well for them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And man, I would like to see Emmett mix in some of that wrestling. I continue hearing about his wrestling in
I
his
know.
college days. They were talking about it as well leading up to. But by
Mhm.
the way, you have you have Calvin Kattar and Josh Emmett. Not the most exciting guys. They don't have
Yeah,
a
very
big
mild mannered.
personality. And all these fights were getting finished so quickly that they had to keep on going to these fight promos. And it was like the worst fight promos in the world where it's just Josh Emmett yeah, man, I just train really hard and I go to this recovery place in Sacramento. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's
They're
just
like show, they're like showing him like doing gardening at like his mom's house that he bought her or something. They're like
yeah,
in the
what
backyard.
is going on right now?
Meanwhile, people are just getting murdered left and right on the card.
uh, but they had to go deep into the well for this one, man.
Dude, I
Deep
mean,
into the
the
well.
prelims were over like 45 minutes before the before the main card
It was
started.
nuts.
It
It
just
was
kept
nuts. That's how
everyone was
good it
dying.
was.
Yeah,
All right, man.
great card.
Anything else on the main event?
No, that's it. I wish I wish Kattar got the win. I thought he won.
All
2, 4,
right.
and 5. I'm a
All right.
Kattar truther, I guess.
You are. Hey everybody, Romero and Will here. Thank you so much for watching that short clip. It's just a small clip of what we covered this last Sunday.
Yeah, if you want to check out the full fight card recap, the link is in the description, and it's going to be on screen at the end here. Don't forget to go back and watch our fighter interviews that we have. And don't forget to tune in live every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, and you can join in on the fun.
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It goes a long way. All right, everybody, thanks for watching that short clip from Story of the Fight.